Well, good morning and good afternoon, I should say. Welcome to What's Happening in Your Neck of the Woods. I am your talk show host, Dr. Elenora Woods, and I am so glad to be back on the set. Man, it's been a long time, but you always know that if I'm not on the air, you know I'm doing something in the air. We have had a busy year, a busy season, a lot of great things have happened here at Alton Park Development Corporation for the community. And I'm just so excited to share with you all the great and wonderful things from 2024, 2025 rather, and what's going on happening now leading into 2026. But first, I want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of our faithful audience, our listening audience, and for your families. We thank you all for tuning in to us every day. And you know that we got something to say. And today I'm so happy because we have one of our newest addition to Alton Park Development Corporation here live with us in the studio. Miss Natoria
Hey.
Jeffries is here. I'm so excited to have her as part of our team. And she's going to tell you guys a lot of stuff of what's going on and what she has been challenged to do here at WPTP Radio and Alton Park Development Corporation and everything that's connected to our enterprise. But before we get there, I have a very important guest who's been here before, but has done a wonderful works here in the Chattanooga African American Education and Heritage Museum. And he's going to be joining us here in just a second. And his name is Professor Harold G. Bryson. Where are you at? He's going to be joining us in our studio from his remote location. And as soon as we can get him in, I want him to talk about the African and Black history course. There he is. Professor Bryson, hello. How are you today?
Well, fine,
We
fine,
can't hear
fine.
you. Your microphone is off. So we've got to
Okay.
get your mic on. Okay, say something now. We've got to test you.
Uh, uh, yes,
Yes,
can you hear me now?
yes, we
Can you hear
can.
me? Yes,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
Okay,
Let me.
Doctor, I'm sorry, Professor Harold G. Bryson, we are privileged here at our African American Educational and Heritage Museum to have you. We are honored to have you as a part of our staff and a part of our team, teaching everybody that wants to know about the African and Black history. And we have brought
Okay.
you on today because this will be your second course in
Mhm.
2026 to talk about your course, what it offers, and what we can expect, and how they can enroll and sign up for the class. So, give us a little history about yourself and this experience as a professor in this field.
Well, basically, Dr. Wills, first of all, let me say thank you and thank you to the beautiful young lady who's with you today and to the listening audience. My my journey as it relates to history is that, once you're born as a child and as you develop, curiosity sets in and your mind wonders about how things evolved around you. And as you get older and you begin to read and meet people who have some of the similar interests, then your interest grow. And mine grew with I guess what you say with history. I should never forget growing up as a young man, I heard Malcolm X say that history was our research, and I didn't quite understand that until once I got to graduate school, and they told me that you can't get a master's in 2 years. It has to be, I mean, in 1 year, it has to be 2 years because 1 year would be research. And so I met some, and I want to say some prominent history professors throughout the United States, and was able to communicate with people, and my interest grew and grew. So I just kind of see myself as a, what do you say, self-made historian. How about that?
Yes.
But yes, but the purpose of our purpose with the Alton Park Development Corporation African American History class is to facilitate a meaningful and honest discussion on a variety of topics as it relates to Black history. not only African American history, but as it relates to Black history. And Black history is so vast and scope. We're talking about all over the earth. We're talking about Black history, how it relates, and then in the classes that I'll be sessions that I'll be sharing with those who choose to attend. The first title of that session will be the Cradle of Civilization, and the Cradle of Civilization it simply means how the civilization evolved. And at some point, we'll talk about how Black people, dark skinned people, and people of color, not in the United States, but all over the world, came about and how we got demonized. It was intentionally. And I don't want to get into that now, but the course itself involves the African background, the transatlantic slave trade, um, the African American culture, the role of the Black church in the African American community. That is very, uh, 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 I would say, that is a pivotal point in the early development of Negroes, from slaves to Negroes in America. The early church played a very pivotal part in that. And so we'll talk about the strength of the African American family today, the past and present, and the future of where we're going. So other than that, the class itself is $20 a session. It lasts an hour, and people will be on time. And then when you come in, and your time's already counting, and it will not be any debating. What I'll do is present information and share information, and people can take notes and they can follow up on the information. There will be no recording sessions. There will be no handouts. So, other than that, if anyone has any questions, they know how to contact uh, Dr. Woods at Alton Park Development Corporation, and she can channel uh, the information to me, and I'll contact those who intend to attend the class, and we'll get started. The first class we're going to start, I think it'll be January the 15th, and that would be the Cradle of Civilization. That would be the first session. Okay?
All
Any
right,
questions?
that's a lot there, boy. I'm telling you, I want to just interject here. I kind of got mesmerized into the listening of what you were saying about the
Mhm,
history of African
mhm,
Americans and Black people all over the continent, actually over the world.
mhm,
And
mhm,
I just I would be remiss if I didn't tell the audience out there that I've taken your class. And the
mhm.
first time I took your class, which you offered here, I was so deep into what I did not know that I was
Mhm,
overwhelmed with the
mhm,
amount of knowledge that I
mhm,
did not know.
mhm,
And as I began to listen to you in your sessions, I took all of your classes.
mhm,
It was apparent to me that I did not know history, and
mhm,
I didn't know Black history. And I'm an
mhm,
African American woman. I didn't know African history. And
mhm,
so it was
mhm,
very empowering for me
mhm.
to get this wisdom. And I'll tell you all, if you stop learning, then you stop living. And
Yeah.
so the more I know and the more I live and the more I learn, the more I know I don't know anything. And that's how I felt, because the more you learn something, the more you realize you don't know anything. And that's where we
Right,
need to
right.
keep ourselves and our train of thought is that I need to
Mhm,
continue to thirst for knowledge. I need to continue to research. I need to continue to take
mhm,
courses like this that will empower my mind and give me the
mhm,
wisdom that God wants all of us to have. And so I'm just excited about the second go round with this course. And I don't want
mhm,
anybody to miss
mhm,
the opportunity. That means Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, anybody to miss the opportunity to learn and understand the African and Black history course that you are teaching. Because
mhm,
if you learn what you teach, then you will learn why we here, how we got here, and from
mhm,
whence we're going. To
mhm,
know where you're going,
mhm,
you got to know where you
mhm.
come from. And I'm just
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, I'm just overwhelmed with you, Mr. Bryson, Professor
Mhm.
Bryson.
Mhm.
And I should tell you all that we are working on an honorary doctorate degree for Mr. Bryson from the university that he attended, because he has had over 57 or more years of experience teaching the African and Black history courses all over the city and outside the city and all over. And he is due what he is due. And so we're just grateful, and we are honored to have you part of our staff here, our team here with the African American History Museum, complimenting you and you complimenting them. It's just, I'm telling you all, you have to at least, because they're $20 a class, and that's nothing. That's peanuts. I just spent $20 yesterday on getting some fast food to spend. But I tell you, once you taste of his goodness in his classroom, you will be hungry and thirsty for the other. Is it 11 courses altogether? Is it 11 courses?
Yes, it's between 9 and 11.
Okay,
Yes.
yes.
Mhm.
Take
Mhm.
the first one. I'm telling you, because it kind of builds up on that first from that first one.
Oh yeah.
Uh, that first class, the cradle of civilization, is
Mhm.
so crucial to
Mhm.
understanding the beginning of everything. I'm not just talking about the beginning of
Mhm.
African history. I'm talking about the beginning of history itself. And
Mhm.
that was
Mhm.
probably the most meaningful course out of all the courses that you taught, for me now, for me.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
it just got better and better and better and better and better. So I just wanted to let everybody know that that next class, the first class of his next series, again, begins on January the 15th. Now, how many students will you take at one time? Because this may be an onslaught
Mhm.
of
Well,
people that want to take this
I
class.
I would think 12 would be uh between 12 and 15, but 12 would be a sufficient number. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, listen,
Mhm.
y'all. This
Mhm.
is like the lottery. You wait too long, it's kind of like this event. I want to give a shout out to the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Pi Omega, which is a sorority and chapter that I'm affiliated with, for their amazing 2025 Fashionetta event that's happening tonight at the Trade and Convention Center. Getting back
Okay.
to what I was about to say, it's kind of like the lottery. If you wait too long, there won't be any more
Mhm.
tickets. We're sold out at the
Mhm.
event tonight. So don't you all wait too long. He said 12 to 15 students in the class, at least the first class, but we'd like to get everybody signed up for all 11 classes. But so
Yeah,
anyway,
yes.
talk
And,
about
and
what
doc,
you know.
yes. And Dr. Wood, I would like for people to think about taking Dr. and the late Professor Carter G. Woodson statement. Now, I just want you to listen to this, not you, but everyone. You probably have heard it, but I want you to digest it. If a race has no history, it has no worthwhile tradition. It becomes a negligent factor in the thought of the world, and it stands in danger of being exterminated. That's what they're trying to do to us today. And think about Dr. Carter G. Woodson, how he was on point in the 20s. Nothing is new under the sun, but he's telling us that our race and our culture stands to be in danger of being exterminated. And if you don't fight and stand up for your culture and your race, your history is gone. Okay, so those are the kind of discussions and thoughtful or thoughtful discussions and thinking that we'll have in the class. So I get that eats in my heart when you think about a culture of a race being exterminated. And I think about my uh, mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, all the people I came up with. They are no longer around. And there's a lot of things that they taught and they live that we take for granted today because why? We're forgetting our history. We're
Wow,
forgetting our history.
that's a profound statement.
And yeah, you can get me going here and I'm going to be quiet. How many young ladies, how many black young ladies in the United States between the ages of 30 and 40 know how to cook?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. Now hey, that's a challenge, y'all 30 and 40-year-old women. Uh-oh. All right. Y'all can comment if you're on your social media sites right now. I know a lot of y'all
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to us
And when I
radio.
say cook, like mama and grandmama and great grandmama did. How many of you can do that now?
Uh-oh. And we don't even talk about 18 to 30.
Right.
We're going to leave that age group completely alone. You are
But
so
that was part of our culture. That was part of our culture.
You're so right, because my mom used to bring me in the kitchen during Thanksgiving, Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And I was in there with her peeling the potatoes and learning how to cut the greens up and, learning how to bake. And that's how I learned how to make a homemade lemon cake. I mean, those things that we did together with our daughters or with us have been lost. And so that my girls, I have two girls, grown girls, and not only did I teach them how to cook, but their dad taught them how to cook because he's a good little cook himself. But those things have been lost, and it is so critical for us to not lose our culture. Every other race holds on to their culture and their traditions, and so there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing racist about that.
Well,
because if we're racist, everybody else is racist. It's just culture, and that's what makes America and the world so great.
Well, like I said, and history is vast in scope. It's vast in scope. And the food that you enjoy eating and then all that money you pay for that food, that when you go in those expensive restaurants and they do all that seasoning and all that, that's Black history. That's Africans who came over to the United States and had to use skillets and pots and pans and big barrels to cook things. And then later on, Patti LaBelle says, what kind of pie she says? What did Patti LaBelle, what kind of pie she held?
Sweet potatoes.
Did she told you? What is it called?
Did she say
I don't know, whatever kind of pie. It was her great grandmama's pie. That's who it was.
Yeah, her great grandmama. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she took it and went everywhere, and everybody, you just got to have a pie. Deal with the history of it. Where did it come from? Deal with the history.
Yes.
So anyway, like I said, but I want to tell you something though. The class will be more calmer than me.
He's a very dignified, prominent, professional person. Yes.
I only get excited with historians because they have a passion.
Yes.
So if you have a general discussion about history, you don't have to worry about me getting excited. But if you have a passion for something, then you and I can have a long conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to also remind our audience that Professor Harold G. Bryson was also a part of a history panel. He was one of the panelists here at the Alton Park Development Corporation that involved other historians throughout the city of Chattanooga about the history of Chattanooga. During the civil rights movements and a little bit before that and forward. And it was an excellent symposium, panel discussion. And I think that if you all go back through our archives with WPTP radio station on YouTube and Facebook, you will find that whole session. And it was just awesome. It was people from all over the city here to come in and listen to what the experts had to say about the history here.
Yeah, well, I don't, but we all have a story to tell, and in our stories, there are similar chapters in all of our stories, but there are also stories in our chapters that's not in other stories. Yes. And your journey. Yeah. Like I said, when you're born, and you just people my age, we all probably have similar stories, and they can identify more with communicating about life journey as we've had together. The young lady who's sitting with you today, she has a story, and her peers has a similar story that she has. But wisdom is the key. And some of us was fortunate enough to have enough sense to listen to those who came before us. And those old black men who smoked those pipes and sat on the porches and came out the cotton field, they had a story to tell.
Yes.
They lived it.
Yes.
They lived it. And one of the reasons, and like I said, I can talk, that there are peers that came up with me and they didn't want to talk about history too much. They wanted to dismiss it. But when I got around their grandfathers and their grandmothers, we talked, because they said, here's a young man who's not ashamed the way we live. He can identify coming out of the cotton field. That's history.
Yes.
That's history. You can't go back and relive it. They're gone. And where was you as a young lady or a young man sitting on the porch, listening to them talk and asking questions? That was our history. That was our history. Not living in the suburbs. Not living in the suburbs. Yes. Having separate schools was our history. But at the same time, we prevailed.
Absolutely.
We prevailed. Absolutely. Because they, meaning our elders, ancestors, they prayed for us. They prayed for us.
That's correct.
Think about that. They prayed for us to have a better day than they had. It was America. There was a painful story in the history of America as it relates to a lot of people, but especially Black people.
Woo. Well, y'all heard it from the man. I call him. There's a few of you all I could name that are part of this African American Museum. One of the oldest living civil rights activists, Johnny Holloway, who is the curator for the African American Educational Heritage Museum, and also Mr. John Edwards, who has been named the go-to person for Black history. These three men have put together, and I trust everything that they say because he used that word wisdom. Yeah. See, wisdom outdoes anything. You can have the book sense, but do you have the wisdom? And your homework assignment today is to look up the difference between wisdom and intelligence. Look it up. Look it up. There's someone say wisdom and intelligence is the same. No, it's not. So I want you all to look that up, because you can have intelligence and lack wisdom and be the biggest fool that ever walked on the earth. And so it's that wisdom that he's talking about that was passed down from generations down to him that created the man that you see, and definitely the man up above. So I just want to say that, again, we are so blessed here at Alton Park Development Corporation to have such, I would call, a community of people coming together to build and create what God has created, to see it and live it out for the good of mankind, and to serve the Lord, his people, in the process. And part of that serving the people is to educate the people and to make sure that everybody is fully on board with the whole history and not part of the history. So I want to thank you, Professor Bryson, for being that light bulb, that turns on in our brain and enlightens us with the wisdom, because I will never be the same. After that, I've got doctorate degrees and all that stuff, and I practiced for 35 years as a doctor of dental surgery. But it wasn't until I came to Professor Harold Bryson's course that I really felt complete in my wisdom. It was so good. I was saying earlier, and so profound, that I was mesmerized with all that I didn't know, to the point that I couldn't really concentrate because it was coming at me so fast, and I'd never heard of it before. And what did he say? Every history, everything is rewarded with what? With research. So these anthropologists and people who are historians cannot argue with anything that he has and will present to you when you sign up for the class. It is no argument. That's why he said that. It's not going to be in a recording. It's not going to be any handout, because part of your assignment is to go, if you want to fact check him and make sure you're not online on what they call it, the internet, looking up stuff on the internet, because some of that's true, some of it's not. You all know that, right? So the Congress, the Library of Congress, is that right?
That's right.
The Library of Congress is the only place where you're going to find the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help them God. And if they destroy that, which I understand they tried to get rid of the Library of Congress, that's where history meets its match, not on the internet. And this man has done the research. That's the reason why he is being looked at now for an honorary degree from his university. And we're working on that. He has the credentials. He's got the teaching. He's met those requirements, and we're going to work on that. But for now, he's got his Master's of Education degree, which some people would say honorary degrees. Once you get your Master's of Education, you teach for even 10 to 20 years, you are at least a candidate to consider, especially if you're working in your community and giving back and educating people and empowering their minds with this particular subject in history, Black history to be exact. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Woods, I could go, but I want to say you shouldn't. You got me going. But let me just share this with everyone. Money is power. Education is power. But information is power. If I give you bad information, you got bad power.
Wow. That's awesome.
And what history does, what hardcore history and research does, it gives you true information.
Yes.
I can write a book, but who's going to fact check my book?
And he's doing that. He's writing a book. So that's why right now
No,
Don't be trying to copy his stuff. This man is so powerful, has so much information. You're gonna buy his book and then you can read it then. Okay. So Professor Bryson, I just want to say again, thank you. You are a hero to me. In fact, he was well, we'll talk about it, but he is up for an award next year in 2026.
I appreciate it, but
the humanitarian award. And y'all know how prestigious the Chattanooga Humanitarian Award is. And I probably dropped the ball too quick, but I just want to say thank you because you are a very important, integral part of the city of Chattanooga, and for that matter, for the world, because of what you're doing to bring wisdom to all of those that will come to hear you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And thanks everyone for listening. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thank you. And kudos to Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. I see your A5A back there in the background. That's my brother. I saw his A5A sign in the back of on this bookcase. So woo! I'm telling y'all, this is too much for me. This is too much for me. So yeah, somebody just wrote wisdom and intelligence. There's a difference. Understand the whole history and not part of the history. The Library of Congress is where you will find all the truth. Ditto. I hopped on late, but I heard some important information in these few minutes. Well, Miss Priscilla Gillespie, this is being recorded. So after we're off the air live, we're on the air live. You can go right back on Facebook and YouTube. We have a YouTube channel and a Facebook channel and hear the whole show. That's WPTP 100.1 FM radio. Thank you for listening. And she says, knowledge is power only if you use it. Yes, you are so true. Thank you for tuning in. We have people tuning in all over the world, listening to WPTP. I did get our stats, and so they're listening in from all over the world, not just in Chattanooga. I think we got some folks in Atlanta listening to us today. Hello there, Mama Jeffries. Hello. How are you? So I'm going to move on to part 2. But before we get to part 2, I love this lady right here. She's going to talk to you all. But I got some very important dates to run down that you all, it'll be listed on our website. That's apdc98.org at the end of the show or sometime tonight. Once we firm this up with our website design person, he has the information. But I want to say that the National Action Network meets every third Sunday at 6 p.m. We do have a physical location. It is here at the Chattanooga Civic Center at Mountainside in room 114. We also have virtual meetings as well. So once we have everybody starting January, our first meeting of the year will take place in person, the third Sunday here at the Civic Center. I want you all to be ready for that. And then, of course, as we just announced, on January the 15th next year, it is our first Black History class. And we will also be celebrating MLK holiday on January the 24th. In February, we have our Black History Celebration Extravaganza. Date to be announced once we get all of our partners on board. We have about 6 or 7 partners so far. But we're going to have a big Black History celebration in the month of February, which will include a special presentation from the African American Educational and Heritage Museum, who our curator is none other than the historical civil rights activist, Mr. Johnny Holloway. Also combining with that effort is the go-to person for Black history in Chattanooga. That's Mr. John Edwards, who is the owner of the Chattanooga News Chronicle. And of course, our very own professor, Professor Harold G. Bryson, who teaches the African and Black history courses here. So we've got a big extravaganza going on in February, centered around Black history. But you all know we celebrate Black history 365 days a year. But we're going to take special time out to acknowledge that we exist. And yes, we have culture. Yes, we have purpose. And yes, we believe and know that we are part and a very important part in the history of our country because we helped to create it. Um, Also in February on the 21st, the Chattanooga National Action Network will have their state meeting in Memphis, Tennessee. We're very excited. Anybody that wants to go, you can go to our website at ChattanoogaNAN.org and leave a message there if you're interested in going. If we get enough people, we'll take a bus. So we just need all of those who are interested in going. It's February the 21st. You need to let us know by January the 21st if you plan to go. In March, we have a political action forum. It's the preview. We're working on getting those dates. I know that there's deadline dates for candidates to pick up their applications to be a candidate in the upcoming 2026 election. Once we have a total number of those who are the deadline on those applications for them to pick them up, we'll be notifying all of the candidates and inviting them to come to the political action forum. This date may change. I've been trying to reach out to the Hamilton County Election Commission to get the deadline for them to pick up and be qualified to run in the race so that we don't leave anybody out and we give everybody the opportunity to speak from their perspective and to speak about what they plan to do if they are elected. This will be sponsored by, of course, the National Action Network of Chattanooga, the Tennessee Democracy Network, the Alton Park Development Corporation, and we have one more we haven't got confirmed yet, but as soon as we confirm it with them, the Women's Voter League may be another person. So don't put that out there because it's not been confirmed. That will be a partner in this political action forum that will be hosted at 701 Hooker Road, Chattanooga, Tennessee, at the Chattanooga Civic Center at Mountainside. We've had them before. They're outstanding. And this will give all of us an opportunity to check out the candidates so that you can see what each candidate stands for. In April, the National Action Network convention will be hosted in New York. We want as many people to go as possible. If we get at least 50 people, they'll send a bus to Chattanooga to pick us all up and take us to New York. I went this year for the first time as being president of the National Action Network. It was, oh my God, it was outstanding. The people that we met there, the things that we got to do, and the places that we got to see and go was just, I tell you, it was something memorable. And I cannot wait for this year's convention. The Reverend Al Sharpton is the president of the National Action Network. I want to just say hello to him and to thank him for bringing Chattanooga into the fold to fight for civil rights and to maintain civil rights. And not only to do that, but to also free our people up. We're doing so many things in NAN beyond just civil rights activism, fighting to get people rights back. We are also educating people. For example, educating people about the laws, educating them about their rights, educating them about how to get good credit. We have all type of seminars about credit repairs, about financial literacy, all of those things that empower families. We are definitely in Chattanooga working on those things that empower our families, help us to grow and be better people, and to be more of an integral part and productive citizens in our community. So I just want to thank the Reverend Al Sharpton for talking to me about becoming the first or founding president of the chapter here in Chattanooga. As you all know, civil rights activism is a hard job, but somebody's got to do it, right? So thank you, President Al Sharpton, for keeping it real all across the country. We love you, and we are with you, and you are with us. I also want to thank Cheryl Huff, who is the first president in the state of Tennessee, in Middle Tennessee, in Nashville, for also holding my hand and teaching me what I needed to know about National Action Network. She's an amazing individual, and I just want to say kudos to her. Thank her for encouraging me and lifting me up and giving me all of that information that I needed for this chapter here. National Action Network is a 501c3 nonprofit, tax exempt for the state of Tennessee organization. We are recognized as a tax exempt organization, so any contributions made to the National Action Network is all tax deductible. All right, in May, is it in May? Yes, the National Action Network will be hosting its first membership luncheon in Chattanooga on May the 17th, 2026. And let me tell you, if you're not a member, that's the best time to come. Membership is only $25 a year. Okay. If you want a t-shirt, then the membership is $40 for your first membership. Then it goes back to $25. In June is our great big Juneteenth celebration. This will be our third annual Juneteenth celebration on June the 19th from 10 to 2. So we're excited about that. You all, if you've ever been to our Juneteenth celebration, it is absolutely amazing. The museum is open. We have activities. We have Black artists, white artists, anything that contributes to the culture of African history. You can expect to see it. We've even brought the farm animals out on our ball field, on our park outside, and allowed our children and other teenage adults and everybody to experience that as well. So it's been amazing. African drummers teaching the kids how to beat African drums. We've just had a lot of good stuff over the past 2 years, and this year is going to be even better. July, we're working on something for our Independence Day. Our curator for the African History Museum is working on something for that. In August, we will have a mix and mingle wine tasting. That's a fundraiser event, and also give candidates an opportunity to mix and mingle and talk and exchange cards and that kind of stuff at that event. So we want to encourage all of you all to come out in August here at the Chattanooga Civic Center at Mountainside, and we're excited about the mix and mingle. The date and time will be announced as we get closer to August. And then, of course, in October, the Humanitarian Award Gala, October the 24th, from 6 to 9 p.m. This will be our 12th annual or 13th annual Humanitarian Award Gala. Last year or this year was just popping. It was so good. Oh, my goodness. I just want to thank everybody that had anything to do with that amazing event. We are celebrating you. We are celebrating those who have given back to mankind. They've done it unselfishly, and they have done it from their pockets 10 or more years. And they've made a difference in the lives of everybody that they have touched. They've changed the trajectory of people's lives. And I just want to thank them for being that person in the middle that helps to bridge the gap from people, especially when they are not so good at the side of the road, and helping to pull them over to safety. I want to thank all of those people in this city that have been a part of that, from the churches to individual peoples, the foundations, everyone that have been a part of this. Kudos to you. We're going to continue to celebrate you. The nominations are open for those who want to submit names for candidacy. You can go to our website again, apdc98.org. When you submit a name, make sure you submit their bio so that we can have those names and bios looked at, because they got to pass the last test. And that's where our mayors, our city and county mayors, approve of those names. And they're giving an award from our city mayor and our county mayor as well. So that's really big for us, and really big for those who win that particular award. It's an outstanding award. You can look up the history on that, from the very first one with John P. Franklin Sr. and Franklin Macaulay and Luther Massengale, all those great people that came first that have done so much for this city and mankind. You all are following in their footsteps, and I'm just especially proud of the Humanitarian Award Gala. Um, then in November, we will be celebrating our veterans. Hey, we're going to be celebrating our veterans. And we have a group of veterans that are ready. They're getting things together. I know at the museum, we will have a big display of the African American soldiers who fought in the Civil War. Some were Confederates, some were Union soldiers. And Mr. John Edwards does an amazing gallery setup of just that with the men in their uniforms, with the some of the artifacts that he partnered with the Chickamauga battlefield with to bring to sight, so that we all can learn the history of the Civil War and who all was involved. I was educated. Because I didn't know that we had African American Confederate soldiers. I mean, that's why it's so good to go to museums and educate yourself, because I thought they were just slaves. I didn't know that they were actually fighting, especially on the Confederate side.
Right.
But they were. And so just the history is here. It's rich. And you're missing out on an opportunity to really educate yourself about history by not coming here to our museum. And then in December, we're going to have an amazing Kwanzaa celebration that starts on December the 26th. So we'll be doing things here on the radio station to talk about Kwanzaa and participating in Kwanzaa throughout the city with those organizations that put them on. And I know you all have been waiting, because there's a beautiful lady in here. I saw a beautiful lady. You can go look at these dates again. It's going to be up on our website. But now I want to turn our attention to this beautiful lady that's sitting to my left, your right. And her name is Natoria Jeffries. Miss Jeffries, hello.
Hi.
Yes, my gosh. I feel it was so wonderful today. Because you all know, y'all say Dr. Woods is all over the place. I don't know how she do it. I don't either. But God sent a little birdie by and said, you getting old, girl. You need to let it go, right? And get you some folks that are really educated and really knowledgeable, and have seen a lot and know a lot and can do a lot to come aside with you and help you with this organization. And he promised me that he would send me who I needed, what I needed, when I needed it. And he has done just that. I can go on and on about that, but I'm not. I'm going to let Miss Natoria Jeffries enlighten you all about who she is and what she's been doing since she's been here with Alton Park.
So I am so glad to be here today. I was not expecting this.
but she here doing some stuff today.
Yes,
though.
I'm doing some things today. We have a lot going on today. I'm just so grateful for our community and Dr. Woods just for everything that she's done here and allowing me to work at Alton Park. There's so many things, great things, and she's allowing me to grow and develop my own self. And just the history that I got to hear today, it makes me want to go to the historian class, and I really want to attend. You may have your first classmate, because I will definitely be there. I will definitely be putting my $20 in, because I know that it's worth it. I want to be more in depth in what I know about our history. We have a wonderful, beautiful museum here at Alton Park, and it's something that I want to grow and learn in. Also, we have something going on today with Howard High Hustling Tigers. They're coming today, and I'm glad to see all of them come together. This is their anniversary, I believe 10-year anniversary. So
House home. They've been doing this for 10 years.
Yes.
And y'all know Kenny Simpson, we call him Super T. He's kind of the spearheader of this thing today.
Yes. So that is awesome. And just allowing me to be here working at the Alton Park Corporation. I'm just so happy to be here, and just allow me to develop my mind and what I know in the history that I've learned, even in school, which I'll miss Saudi Daisy of 2016. So
The
I do.
first African American homecoming queen at
Yes.
Saudi Daisy, may I add?
I love it. Yes.
It's like I
So
forgot about that. No, she
no.
was the very first homecoming African American homecoming queen for Saudi
Yes,
Daisy. That
I
was
was
history.
Miss Saudi Daisy. So it was really nice to be here today, and I'm glad to be sitting here with Dr. Woods. And thank you for today.
Yes, I thank you for taking the opportunity, and I definitely look forward to working with Miss Jeffries. She has already, in her executive secretarial role with us here at Alton Park. She's already transitioned her receptionist desk out front.
Yes.
When you guys walk in, you'll meet this beautiful face, and she'll be able to help you with things that you may have questions about or need. And you may also see her in our thrift store because she told me she loves the thrift store.
Yes.
So we do have a thrift store here. She'll be helping us with that. And definitely on our fundraiser team, she's going to be a part of that. So we're just excited about it. And I tell you, it felt really good to know that she was available to come to work today and to oversee some activities going on here at the Civic Center. And I'm going to be at the gala tonight at the Trade Center with my sorority sisters. It's the 2025 Fashionetta Gala. And Alton Park Development Corporation is one of the corporate silver sponsors this year. And so we'll be in the house for sure, Alton Park Development Corporation. And we'll also have information about our African American history classes that's taught by Professor Bryson, and I'm just really excited, and I don't have to worry about anything while I'm there because I know that this young lady can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
She is so strong and so powerful, her mind, and she's just brilliant. And I just think again, God has sent someone to us that we really need, and I just praise Him for that, and definitely praise her. Also praise Him for her having the willingness to want to join. I call it an awesome organization to be a
Yes.
part of it and to be making history with us. I just thank you
Yes.
for it. Yes. And she has a little girl that's
Yes.
3 years old, Miss Nyla.
Nyla Michelle. I
Yes,
love her.
yes, yes. And
Beautiful.
she's a beautiful young lady. And I just want to say hello, Nyla. Hi, wherever your mommy's on TV. Yes. So I'm excited about that. And it's going to be awesome. Alton Park continues to grow by leaps and bounds. We continue to gather people to help because we can't do this without you. We need all of you. I want to thank our media team again, Mr. Robin Rose, who is handling the cameras here on site, as well as our marketing director and part of our engineering team, as well as Michael. Dr. Michael Slyman, who's a professor at Chattanooga State. He teaches in the science department, and he's handling the screen off-site. He's making sure that we have the audience can see us and that the things that scroll across the bottom of the screen is showing up. I want to thank these two amazing men for allowing WPTP to be all that it is. And that brings me to the next and final thing, besides wishing everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, is that we have the opportunity to have the best, I call it one of the best farms in Chattanooga. I was approached by the city farmers to grow food to feed the people in the community. And I said, of course, we got 8 acres of land, right? And I was like, yeah, of course. And so they have already began. They've tested the soil down in our what we call our park and where our playground and park is. And they have already mapped out an acre of land. They've already started the dirt. They've already started, I'd say, cultivating, especially on our raised bed gardens that we have up by the building. We're growing tomatoes, greens, herbs, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of fruits and vegetables. And I'm just excited about it. And next week, because I'm so excited, I'm going to be bringing the lead director over the farm project, Mr. Victor McClure, who's leading this whole project. And he's a native and graduate of the University of Tennessee and has a bachelor's degree in sociology, where he participated on the following team from 2000 to 2004. And he's been in the landscaping field for the last 20 years. He is a certified arborist. 16 or 18 and a half of those years were spent managing 692 acres at the Baylor School in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He's also coaching multiple sports for 13 years. So since 2020, he's participated and educated himself in regenerative soil and agricultural practices. Y'all know I got to have my glasses checked, and I don't have them on today. So he's completed a permacultural design course in 2024 and an agricultural course in 2025. So recently, he's transitioned to full-time to implementing these practices in Chattanooga and surrounding areas, focused on connecting community, rebuilding ecosystems, the agriculture, and the education of future, what is that last word? Farmers. Yeah, so these are farmers, y'all. These are not just regular people in the community coming to drop some seeds in the soil. These are farmers, and we are so excited about it. He's got pictures from when they did the groundbreaking, which I was there, and all the way up to today. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. He's so excited about coming on. So you all make sure you stay tuned for next week's edition of What's Happening in Your Neck of the Woods. Now, you all know this is Saturday and tomorrow is Sunday, and you know how I end my show. You got to go. You have to go somewhere and thank the Lord for his blessings and all of his goodness and everything that he's blessed you with. You got to go give him praises. Now, in the word, it says praise him all day long, 24/7, without ceasing. But tomorrow is Sunday. That's our traditional day of where we're going to stop everything and give it up to God. So even if you can't make it to church, you can do it right there in your bedroom, right there in your kitchen, and praise the Lord and thank him for his goodness. They've got stream jars all over the place with churches coming into your living room by television or by internet, where you can go online and watch church from somewhere. So we just want to encourage you, lift you up, and definitely let you know that nothing's that bad. I want to definitely shout out my daughter and my auntie. My daughter's having problems with her health, as most of you that know me know, and that she's had to have surgery. They did a biopsy on her kidney, but I am praying right now. I want all of you all out there in the listening land to pray with me, because he said, wherever two or more gathered in his name, there shall he also be. That God is going to fix whatever it is that's wrong with my child. She's diabetic. I would tell you that. She's diabetic. She has some issues with her heart and her kidney. And I need you all to pray for her and pray for the doctors. Pray for anybody that has the wisdom to figure it out. She goes to her nephrologist on Monday. I just ask God to open up the windows of heaven and touch her body and heal her body. And if it's something that we need to do on this earthly side, that we do what we need to do also to make it better. I just want to thank the Lord right now for a successful surgery that she had this past week. She's resting. No, I know you all say she's my left hand. She's not only my left hand, she's my right hand. She's my left foot and my right foot. And so it's been really different not having her at the dental practice, because she's my lead dental assistant. But God made a way. So I just want you all to continue to lift Megan up in prayer, and that God will continue to put his anointing spirit and power all over her body. And then my auntie, Sharon Drag, is in the nursing facility, NHC. They've dropped her a few times. They broke her hip. She had to have major hip replacement. So she's got to go through a long period of therapy. We're working on that because she was too weak to be walking. I did ask them to get her a walker almost a month ago, but they said they couldn't because it had to be ordered from physical therapy. Well, they dropped her again and trying to get to the bathroom several times without a walker. She fell a couple of times, and then they dropped her a couple of times. So she now has her hip has been replaced. But I just asked the Lord to put healing hands on her body. You all know my auntie Sharon. She's very mobile, very independent. But at this point in time, she's very dependent upon us to help her. So I need you all to pray for her, ask God to put his healing hand and spirit and anointing power on her body so that she too can be healed and be restored back to what she's accustomed to doing. To the Collegedale Courts, West Side, she's the president of the West Side Project. So I want all of you all out there, if you love her, you hear me, to lift her up. Send her something, flowers or something, or just go by and see her and let her know that you're thinking about her. Call her up and let her know that you're thinking about her. And I know that things are going to be okay. Yes. So I just want to tell y'all I love you and nothing you can do about it. And when you don't see me on the television, the WPTP radio podcast or whatever you want to call it, YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, you know what I'm doing. You know that I'm busy doing it for God. Wherever I am, I'm busy doing it for God, lifting him up and doing things for his people. So I love you. And until next week, y'all be good and be blessed. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.